And welcome back. This is your man Warrior. This is going to be an arena trials battle, and I just wanted to take a step back and say how appreciative I am of my leaderboard with the diversity that we have, from the new Jedi Knight Revan to still Emperor Palpatine running with the Sith, which, by the way, Emperor Palpatine works really well against Jedi, which is why he's kind of seeing a resurgence, to Rebel teams, to Night Sister teams. There's just a ton of diversity, at least a ton of diversity on my leaderboard, and everybody's got some really crazy mods, but I don't want to hit anybody before their payout. I try to be respectful like that, and the only person in this list that's already had their payout is Jerry. Now, he's running a really good team. It's the Triumvirate with Nest and, of course, Emperor Palpatine, because Emperor Palpatine is just so good against the Jedi, and he makes the team faster, if that's even needed. And so we're going to go ahead and talk about my team really quick, what I'm currently using, how I modded these characters, and some alternate variants. And I can say a bunch of alternates that you can utilize in here is Ezra. I've seen people use Ezra instead of Bastila, or Ezra instead of Jolee if they didn't have Jolee. I've seen people use Hermit Yoda. In fact, I started with Hermit Yoda instead of Jolee. Hermit Yoda is a great direct replacement. And I've used Old Ben a ton instead of General Kenobi, because he just basically gives an extra turn. He'll feed a bunch of extra turn meter, and he reduces turn meter in that same mind control move. And so because of that, he can give your team an extra turn. Pretty cool. But I'm using General Kenobi right now. General Kenobi is really great if you're going Revan against Revan, and the reason is he can really help finish somebody off, especially where I'm at, because my Revan does not actually have two of his Zetas, and direct focus, when Zetaed, really makes a huge difference. Not only does it stun the target, but it reduces their turn meter, so it slows them down from taking another turn, and then you can really finish them off. And the other Zeta hero really boosts everybody up, kind of like the R2-D2 Zeta, where everybody shares his stats. It's the same basic thing with Revan. So I don't have hero, which would make my whole team more durable, and I don't have the Zeta on direct focus, which would almost assuredly help me eliminate an entire target prior to them even getting a chance to take a turn. So because of that, it's definitely direct focus is necessary for the highest level play, and hero as well. But I've got him, other than that, maxed out. The mods I went with were a speed set, and really I was just looking to get speed out of him. I got him to 305, and of course it's a speed arrow, it's a critical damage triangle, it's a health plus, and a health circle. And the reason why I used health on both of those instead of protection, because protection's really good in arena, is just because of all of the health gain things that happen in the game, all the health steal that he gets, all of that. The largest health pool possible, for me anyway, is a really great strategy. I've got his health over 45,000, and it really helps to regenerate him. Now, Grandmaster Yoda, you really want to focus on offense and get his offense up over 5,000 if possible. That's kind of the goal. I do have a speed set on him and a crit chance set on him. And you can see I got him, I still have him pretty fast at 293. And goal was to get his health around 40,000. So a little short on that. But his special damage is at 5218. Now, he will crit quite a bit, even though his special critical chance is pretty low. So with Grandmaster Yoda, I used Speed Arrow, although there is an argument to be made to make this an offense arrow. If you had an offense arrow with a lot of secondary speed, that would work really well, because you can slow Grandmaster Yoda down since he gets so much turn meter from his kit. And then critical damage, of course, and then offense there, and health is really great, especially when you've got health steal going on. Now, Jolee Bindo is still a work in progress, trying to get him up to being competitive. I've got his health around 44,000. I will be able to get it even higher, but it's all health sets. I do have a speed arrow on him, just simply because it's arena, with health in the triangle, tenacity, which does help because he gets natural tenacity. And then, of course, on top of that, if you add more tenacity, it really helps prevent him from getting any debuffs. and then I have health here. And there is an argument to be made to give him health here instead of tenacity, but I really needed him to have a decent amount of tenacity, which right now we have him around 81%. So he's going to get around 180%, which should stop most debuffs from occurring. And if you were wondering, what do you mean? How does he have 180%? Well, here he gets 100% tenacity and is immune to turn meter reduction effects. So this is where he's getting his other tenacity from. Now, I'm pretty unimpressed with my General Kenobi modding, working really hard to make him healthy, but I also need tenacity, and his health is only around 33,000. It would be preferable to have around a 40,000 health pool, because once that protection is gone, it's easier to one-shot him if he's under the 40,000. And so definitely want to get his health up. But I ran with protection or tenacity sets because of his use, or at least I was once upon a time using him against Traya, and I just have not switched him over. But 30 speed, and then of course I've got a protection there, and protection there. Really just trying to focus on protection as much as possible. He's pretty slow as far as, in relevance to arena teams, but his tenacity is at over 113. So that's pretty decent. And Bastila Shan. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that they would prefer Ezra because of the damage dealing, and that Bastila Shan, in fact, I love McMull. He's awesome, but he does talk about Bastila Shan, and he gives these multiple reasons why she sucks and why she shouldn't be utilized in an arena team, and I couldn't be more opposed to his viewpoint because, for example, he says that this subvert defenses, says it dispels all buffs on them and stuns them. He says because of her potency that she'll never get this stun. I get this stun to apply every single time I play her. It doesn't happen every time she uses the ability, but she, through every battle, gets to use this ability at least a couple times, and one of those 2 times it applies. So it's not something that's completely wasted. But the thing that's more important on this isn't the stun. It's actually the dispel all buffs. And that happens every time. So because of that, really it's more of ability to strip a taunt or strip a bunch of buffs from a team, things like that. And so I feel like that's still really good. And the ability on her basic to inflict ability block, you can call assists with this team because of Jedi Knight Revan. And so, if Traya's dead, she's not going to self-cleanse the team. Ability block becomes really, really powerful in Arena. And so ability block, super amazing. But obviously with Darth Traya as a lead, she's going to naturally allow everyone to cleanse who's a Sith prior to their beginning of their turn. So all of the things like ability block are wasted. With Jedi Assault, this no longer is wasted. You get to utilize it and actually really gain a huge strategic advantage. But the biggest thing is Rally. It is programmed by the computer to always target Grandmaster Yoda if he's in there. So he gets Grandmaster Yoda when on auto battle. I watch him always get it. It really supercharges him, and then he passes all of these buffs to everybody, which is really, really crazy because then everybody hits harder. Everybody is stronger. Everybody's more tenacious. Everybody's everything. The accuracy is huge, really huge, especially with Grandmaster Yoda. So this is like supercharging Grandmaster Yoda if he really even needed to be supercharged. And so that's really what she's there for, is the rally ability. Hopefully the insight into my team will help you understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. With this team, let's go ahead and kill Darth Traya with the direct focus. And you can see, because of Emperor Palpatine, my team, people who are participating, are already going down protection-wise. Now, you have 2 choices. You can jump and then take an extra turn and spread buffs, which is really important, or you can just take out Darth Traya. And I'm going to go ahead and attempt to take out Darth Traya just to call it good. Bam, there we go. And if I would have passed the buffs, I wouldn't have had any cooldown reductions. So you got to remember there is different strategies. But we're going to go ahead and go after Emperor Palpatine. And we're going to call to assist, which is really cool that he has a call to assist as well. It just really makes us a very strong team. So we're going to click on him. And I always call Grandmaster Yoda. He's my hardest hitting of anyone. And let's go ahead and do the AoE. And then let's pass some buffs to everybody. And yeah, Darth Sion we can actually kill pretty quickly. So anytime you have the ability to use this far right strategic advantage, you should. You can pass it around and just really eliminate targets pretty quickly. And let's go ahead and let's try and get rid of Emperor Palpatine. There we go. And let's cleanse everybody off. And we want to start trying to kill Darth Nihilus. So we're going to start going after him, called an assist. And let's just do a basic. And let's do a mass attack. Got rid of him. And you can see the ability block there, which is something that is actually very powerful. I know a lot of people, again, don't see a value, but I personally see a huge value with the ability to do ability block. And yes, I've got to kill him again, but no big deal. All right. Now, this is where if direct focus was Zeta, it would make it really, really amazing. And the reason is she'd be stunned. And so she wouldn't be able to counter, and I could just mollywop her with a bunch of basics. And so I'm going to go ahead and do it. But we've got to shrink her health pool down. And so we're just going to use a bunch of basics. And we just have to survive. And then we're going to call and do a couple more basics. And another basic. And I really want to stun her. And so that's where this comes into play. And look at that. I got the stun. And she came out of stun pretty quickly because she had a bunch of turn meter already. But the stun applied. I know that people say it doesn't apply. But that's just, like I said, not the case. And let's keep doing basics. And you can see the health pool just shrinking as we use the basics. And we'll do direct focus again, which will do a bunch of basics. She's got 2 little bars of health. That's hilarious. All right. As soon as she takes a turn, we don't want to stun anymore. As soon as she takes a turn, it'll be a one-shot. Right here. All right, I took my time. I wanted to talk through the battle as we went. By the way, I love all the different colors of lightsabers. I think that's really, really cool to see just the full spectrum, you know, with the yellows and the greens and the blues. It's really quite cool. So who are you using on your Jedi team, or are you not using Jedi at all? Leave in the comments down below who you're using, and as always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.